Today is the 24th of December, 2025. On this Christmas Eve, as we think about gifts and value, let us consider something truly timeless. We often think of coins as simple tools for buying things. We use them every day without a second thought. But some coins are much more than just loose change. UK silver coins tell a story that stretches back over 2,000 years. They are small, metal discs that carry the history of a nation. They have seen the rise and fall of kings, the turmoil of wars, and the growth of an empire. Holding one is like holding a piece of the past in your hand. These silver coins are not just for historians or collectors. They are also a serious form of investment. Unlike paper money, which can lose its value over time, these coins have a lasting worth. This worth comes from two main things. First, they are made of silver, a precious metal that has always been valuable. Second, their history and rarity can make them worth far more than the silver they contain. This combination makes them a unique and fascinating way to preserve wealth. It is a journey into economics, art, and the very fabric of British history. In this exploration, we will travel through time. We will start with the first simple coins of ancient Celtic tribes. We will see how the Romans brought their sophisticated currency to Britain. Then we will journey through the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms, the Norman conquest, and the dramatic Tudor and Stuart periods. Each era left its mark on the silver coins it produced. The designs changed, the silver content varied, and the stories they told grew more complex. These changes reflect the major shifts in British society, politics, and technology. Understanding these coins is to understand the flow of history itself. We will look at famous coins like the silver penny, the shilling, and the crown. We will discover why some are incredibly rare and sought after by collectors around the world. We will learn how events like the English Civil War or the discovery of new silver mines impacted their creation and value. By the end, you will see these humble objects in a new light. You will understand why UK silver coins represent a solid, tangible, and historically rich investment for the modern world. Our journey begins in a time before Britain was a single kingdom. The ancient Celtic tribes were the first to produce coins in these lands. Around the 2nd century BC, they began creating their own versions of coins they had seen from continental Europe. These early coins were often made of a silver alloy. Their designs were not realistic portraits, but abstract and symbolic patterns. You might see a stylized horse, a boar, or swirling shapes. These were not just for buying goods. They were powerful symbols of a chief's authority and wealth, used to pay warriors and make important tribal payments. Then came the Romans in AD 43. They brought with them a highly organized monetary system. Roman silver coins, like the famous denarius, became the standard currency across the province of Britannia. These coins were mass-produced with remarkable consistency. They featured realistic portraits of the emperors, from Claudius to Constantine. This was a form of propaganda, reminding everyone, even in a distant province, who was in charge. The silver content was initially high, but it declined over centuries as the empire faced economic troubles. Today, finding a Roman silver coin, in good condition, minted in Britain, is a thrilling link to this imperial past. After the Romans left in the early 5th century, Britain entered the era of the Anglo-Saxons. For a while, coin usage declined. But soon, new kingdoms like Mercia, Northumbria and Wessex began minting their own silver coins. The most important of these was the silver seat, a small, thick coin with varied and often mysterious designs. Later, the silver penny became dominant. These pennies were thin and wide, often bearing the name of the king and the moneyer who made the coin. Their silver content was crucial for trade, and they were often cut into halves or quarters to make smaller change. The Norman conquest of 1066 brought another major change. William the Conqueror kept the silver penny but standardized its design and weight across the entire kingdom. The famous cross and pellets design on the back was not just for decoration. It made it easy to see if a coin had been clipped, where dishonest people would shave silver from the edge. This strict control over the currency helped the new Norman kings consolidate their power and build a stable economy. These early pennies, connecting us to the dramatic events of 1066, are highly prized by collectors for their historical significance. Throughout the High Middle Ages, the silver penny remained the backbone of the English economy. Kings like Henry II and Edward I continued to reform the currency. They improved its quality and standardized its appearance to build confidence in trade. The famous long cross pennies, introduced by Henry III, had a cross that extended to the edge of the coin. This was another clever design to prevent the illegal clipping of precious silver. During this time, mints were established in major towns like London, Canterbury, and York. The coins tell us where they were made, giving us a map of medieval economic power. The late medieval period saw the introduction of new silver coins. The groat, worth 4 pence, and the half-groat were first minted under Edward I. These larger coins were needed as the economy grew more complex. They made larger transactions much easier than carrying around huge bags of pennies. The designs also became more sophisticated. We start to see more detailed portraits of the monarch, a clear statement of royal power and prestige. The quality of the silver was generally kept high, as a strong currency was a sign of a strong king. This stability made English silver respected across Europe. The Tudor dynasty, starting with Henry VII in 1485, brought a renaissance in coin design. Henry VII introduced the very first shilling, then called a testoon, which was worth 12 pence. It featured a stunningly realistic portrait of the king, a true work of art. This was a powerful projection of the new dynasty's authority. He also introduced the magnificent gold sovereign. However, his son, Henry VIII, brought about a dark period for the nation's coinage. To fund his lavish lifestyle and foreign wars, he began the Great Debasement. Silver was mixed with more and more cheap copper, yet the coins were issued at the same face value. Queen Elizabeth I, Henry VIII's daughter, made it her mission to restore the currency's integrity. She undertook a major Great Recoinage program. She recalled all the debased coins from her father and brother's reigns. These were melted down, and new coins were issued with a high, reliable silver content. This restored public and international faith in English money. The beautiful silver shillings and sixpences of Elizabeth I, with their fine portraits and high silver purity, are among the most popular coins for collectors. They represent a time of stability, exploration, and cultural flourishing, a golden age reflected in its silver. The Stuart period began in 1603 with James I, who united the crowns of England and Scotland. This union was reflected in the coins, which now bore titles like King of Great Britain. The silver coinage continued with familiar denominations like the shilling and the sixpence. But a major technological leap occurred during this era. The old method of hammering coins by hand began to be replaced by new milled coinage, produced by machines. These new coins were perfectly round, with detailed designs and lettering on the edge. This made them much harder to clip or counterfeit, representing a huge step forward in security. The reign of Charles I plunged the kingdom into the English Civil War. This conflict had a dramatic and fascinating impact on the nation's silver. With the country divided, both the king and parliament needed to pay their armies. They set up emergency mints all over the country. They melted down silver plate, donated by wealthy supporters on both sides, to strike crude but necessary coins. These are known as siege pieces, or necessity coins. They were often oddly shaped, like diamonds or rectangles, and hastily struck. Their value today comes not from their beauty, but from their direct connection to this turbulent chapter of history. One of the most remarkable coins from this period is the Triple Unite, a large gold coin showing Charles I holding a sword and olive branch. But the silver coins also tell a powerful story. For example, the silver crowns minted at provincial mints like Shrewsbury or Oxford are incredibly rare. They represent the desperate efforts of the royalist cause. After Parliament's victory and the execution of the King in 1649, the new Commonwealth of England issued stark, simple coins. They removed the King's portrait entirely. Instead, the coins featured a simple shield of St. George and inscriptions in English, not Latin, for the first time. With the restoration of the monarchy in 1660, Charles II was placed on the throne. The royal portrait returned to the coinage with gusto. Milled coinage became the standard for all silver and gold coins from 1662 onwards. These magnificent silver crowns and shillings of Charles II are masterpieces of the engraver's art. They feature a dramatic, flowing-haired portrait of the merry monarch. Some coins from this era were made with silver supplied by the Africa Company and bear a small elephant emblem. These details add layers of history and rarity, making Stuart silver a captivating area for investors. The Georgian era, spanning the reigns of four kings named George from 1714 to 1830, saw Britain's influence expand across the globe. Ironically, this period began with a great shortage of silver coins for everyday use. Much of the silver was being hoarded or, illegally melted down. This led to a crisis where there was not enough small change for people to buy food or get paid. The Royal Mint struggled to produce enough new silver. As a temporary solution, the Bank of England stamped its own mark on captured Spanish silver dollars, creating a strange but functional hybrid currency. Major coinage reform finally came in 1816 after the Napoleonic Wars. This great recoinage established the silver coinage system that would last for the next century. The silver content was slightly reduced to discourage melting, but the designs were honestly magnificent. Benedetto Pistrucci's legendary design of St. George slaying the dragon first appeared on the silver crown in 1818. This image has become one of the most iconic in all of British numismatics. The new shillings and sixpences featured beautiful portraits of the monarch and were produced in vast quantities, fueling the Industrial Revolution. The Victorian era, from 1837 to 1901, was the height of the British Empire. Queen Victoria's reign was so long that her portrait on the coinage had to be updated several times. We see her as a young girl, the so-called young head, as a mature monarch, the Jubilee head, and finally, as a veiled widow, the old head. Billions of silver coins were minted and circulated throughout the empire. Key coins include the shilling, the florin, a new 2-shilling piece, and the magnificent Gothic crown of 1847, often considered one of the most beautiful British coins ever made. Until 1920, all these silver coins, from the tiny threepence to the large crown, were made from sterling silver. This means they contain 92.5% pure silver. This high and consistent silver content is a key reason why they are so attractive as an investment today. Their value is underpinned by the actual metal they contain, known as their bullion value. But for Victorian coins, especially those in good condition, their historical and collector value often pushes their price well beyond the simple value of their silver. They are, in truth, tangible relics of a time when Britain's currency was used across a quarter of the world's landmass. The 20th century began with British silver coins still at their peak, made from 92.5% pure sterling silver, just as they had been for centuries. The coins of Edward VII and the early years of George V's reign continued this proud tradition. The designs were elegant, featuring the bare head of the monarch, a style that continues to this day. These coins circulated widely, a symbol of economic stability and imperial power. Holding a pre-1920 silver shilling or florin is to hold the last of the truly high-grade silver currency that was used by ordinary people in their daily lives. The immense cost of World War I changed everything. The war effort drained Britain's finances and its reserves of precious metals. In 1920, the government made a historic decision. To save money, the silver content of the nation's circulating coins was drastically reduced from 92.5% down to just 50%. This was a momentous shift. For the first time in over 300 years, British silver coins were no longer made of sterling silver. Collectors and investors refer to coins made before this date as pre-1920 and those made between 1920 and 1946 as 50% silver. This 50% silver coinage continued through the rest of George V's reign and into the reigns of Edward VIII and George VI. The designs changed, with more modern Art Deco styles appearing in the 1920s and 1930s. A new silver coin, the crown, was occasionally issued to mark major royal events, such as the Silver Jubilee of George V in 1935. However, the shadow of another world war loomed. The economic strain of World War II was even greater than the first. Britain had to repay enormous debts, particularly to the United States, and silver was needed to do it. In 1947, the final step was taken. Silver was removed from all circulating British coinage entirely. From that year on, coins that looked like silver, such as the shilling and 2-shilling piece, were made from a copper-nickel alloy. This marked the end of an era that had lasted for more than 1,000 years. Silver, once the bedrock of the nation's money, was now too valuable to be used in everyday transactions. This is why coins dated 1946 or earlier are so important. They are the last remnants of Britain's true silver currency, and every single one has a guaranteed intrinsic value from its silver content. After 1947, silver disappeared from the pockets of the British public. For decades, the only way to own British silver was to collect the older coins from before this date. However, in the latter part of the 20th century, a new trend emerged in global finance. Bullion coins. These are coins made by government mints specifically for investment purposes. They are legal tender, but their real value is based on their precious metal content, not their face value. The Royal Mint, recognizing this new market, decided to re-enter the world of silver in a big way. In 1987, the Royal Mint launched the gold Britannia coin. A decade later, in 1997, its silver counterpart was introduced to celebrate the 10th anniversary. The silver Britannia was an instant success. It is a 1-ounce coin made of fine silver. Until 2012, it was made of 95.8% silver, a standard known as Britannia silver. But since 2013, it has been minted in 99.9% pure silver. This high purity makes it directly comparable to other major international silver bullion coins, like the American Silver Eagle or the Canadian Maple Leaf. It is a trusted and easily tradable silver investment. The design of the Britannia coin is a key part of its appeal. One side always features the portrait of the reigning monarch, currently King Charles III. The other side features the iconic figure of Britannia, the female personification of Britain. She is usually shown standing with a trident, shield and helmet, a symbol of British naval strength and integrity. The design of Britannia sometimes changes from year to year, which adds an element of collectability to the coins. Special editions and proof versions with different finishes are also produced, appealing to both investors and numismatists. Today, the silver Britannia is the flagship silver investment coin of the United Kingdom. The Royal Mint has even incorporated advanced security features into the design to combat counterfeiting. These include a latent image that changes from a padlock to a trident, microtext, and surface animation. These features provide peace of mind to investors, assuring them they are buying a genuine product. By producing the Britannia, the Royal Mint has ensured that the story of British silver continues, not as money for the shops, but as a secure and respected store of wealth for the 21st century. The case for investing in UK silver coins rests on a powerful combination of factors. The first and most straightforward is their intrinsic metal value. A coin made before 1947 contains a specific guaranteed amount of silver, a globally traded commodity. This provides a solid floor for its value. If the price of silver on the world market goes up, the base value of your coin collection also rises. This makes silver coins a great hedge against inflation, as the value of precious metals tends to increase when the purchasing power of paper money, like the pound or dollar, decreases over time. Beyond the raw silver, there is the crucial factor of numismatic value. This is what makes a coin worth more than its weight in metal. Rarity is the most important element here. A coin might be rare because very few were minted in the first place, like a provincial siege piece from the Civil War. Or it might be rare because most of its kind were melted down or lost over the centuries. A coin's condition is also vital. A coin that looks almost new, with sharp details and no wear, is far more valuable than one that is heavily worn. This is why collectors use a grading system, from poor to uncirculated. Then there is the historical significance. A coin is a primary historical document. A silver penny of William the Conqueror is valuable because it connects directly to the Norman conquest. A debased shilling of Henry VIII tells a story of royal extravagance and economic crisis. A silver crown of Queen Victoria represents the peak of the British Empire. People are willing to pay a premium to own these tangible pieces of the past. The story behind the coin is often as valuable as the silver it contains. This historical demand is stable and often grows as new generations of collectors discover this fascinating field. Finally, there is market demand. The market for UK silver coins is deep and well established, with a passionate community of collectors and investors in Britain and around the world. This means there is always a good level of liquidity. It is relatively easy to buy and sell these coins through dealers, auctions, and online platforms. The combination of these four factors, bullion value, rarity, historical importance, and market demand, creates a uniquely resilient investment. It is an asset that is both tangible and portable, beautiful and valuable, with a story to tell that paper assets simply cannot match. When considering where to place your wealth, it is useful to compare UK silver coins with other common investments. Let's start with stocks and shares. While stocks can offer high returns, they are intangible. You own a piece of paper or a digital entry that represents a fraction of a company. Their value can be extremely volatile, subject to market sentiment, company performance, and economic downturns. A stock can, in a worst-case scenario, become worthless. A Roman silver denarius or a Victorian crown, however, will never be worthless. It will always have value from its silver content and its historical reality. Real estate is another popular investment. Property is tangible, like a coin, and tends to hold its value well over the long term. However, it requires a very large capital outlay. It is also illiquid. Selling a house can take months or even years. Property also comes with significant ongoing costs such as taxes, maintenance, and insurance. Silver coins, by contrast, are highly divisible and portable. You can invest with a small amount of money and easily add to your collection over time. They are simple to store securely and have minimal holding costs, making them a much more accessible, tangible asset. What about holding wealth in cash or paper currency? In today's world, this is perhaps the riskiest long-term strategy of all. Central banks are constantly creating more money, which leads to inflation. Inflation is the slow erosion of the purchasing power of your savings. The pound in your pocket today will buy less in 10 years' time. Silver, on the other hand, has been recognized as a store of value for thousands of years. It is a finite resource. It cannot be printed into existence by a government. This is why it has historically served as a reliable protector of wealth against currency debasement and inflation. In conclusion, UK silver coins offer a unique and compelling investment proposition. They combine the security of a physical commodity with the numismatic premium of rarity and historical importance. They are more tangible than stocks, more liquid and accessible than real estate, and a far better long-term store of value than paper currency. Building a collection of these coins is more than just a financial strategy. It is an educational journey through 2 millennia of British history. As we look to the future, these small silver treasures from the past offer a solid, enduring, and deeply fascinating way to preserve wealth for generations to come.